Yeah, hi, I'm Sam. I'm a front-end developer. I run a small group of developers, I suppose. We're called Fork. This is our website. If you click on that, it opens your email client. It's pretty cool. That's all it does. So, yeah, I've been, working with designers, as I'm sure every front-end developer has been, and one thing I've noticed with designers is they love full screen. You know, anything, doesn't matter. They will just say, put it in full screen, you'll get a PSD and you'll look at it and they'll be like, no, that's where it stops, that's where the browser stops or anything, and it doesn't matter. And then, I don't know if anyone's used this, I've used this before, it's has its own problems. It's a JavaScript solution to having a full page sort of scrolling thing, you know, hijacks your scrolling as you sort of, you know, move, scroll, and it sort of, you know, tries to recalculate this easy to use plugin, and works on tablets apparently. So that's sort of where probably a few of us have gone to, if someone's demanding sort of this full screen behavior. And I was playing around with something the other day and ended up with something that I thought was, I don't know, worth sharing, and it's done with just pure CSS and using position sticky, which is pretty unused, I think, at the moment, and browser support is getting really good for it, just very recently. So what I did is this, and I'm going to attempt to code it for you in 5 minutes after this. So we have this sort of full screen stuck sort of background. It can be a video or an image or anything else you want. And then as you scroll, this is just native scrolling. I've just put dummy content in there. And then as it hits the bottom, then the next one comes up and then attaches there, and you keep going. This is maybe something like a news site or something, but as you scroll, if you want infinite scroll more in there, yeah, you can do that, and that's pure CSS. That's why I'm using Safari, because Chrome is almost supporting it. But there's good polyfills for it that you can that are really robust, but it does some moves things into fixed position and out. So I'm going to try and show you how I did that. So if I have this fairly basic standard bit of HTML, header, hero image, some content, and that's just here. So it's that you're just looking at this single article here. Can you read that? Is it? Yeah. And so first thing I want to do is deal with this figure element here. So that's got caps lock on. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to give it position sticky. It's so new, my code editor doesn't even autocomplete sticky. 0. So if you're giving something position sticky, you need to give it at least a top or a bottom, but most situations you'll want top, and then what you should get there is it's just sticking there, and that's basically a fixed element, but it doesn't it stays within the document flow, so you know your content doesn't jump up above it. So after that, I'm going to give it a bit of size, so that image that's directly inside there, I'll give it some width, 100%. Actually, I'm going to give this sticky element height of 100 VH, which is viewport height, and then the image inside, I'll go position absolute top 0, width 100%, and a bit of a display block it, and give it height 100%. Height, sorry. And I will give it an object fit of cover, which is similar to a background size cover, but you can do it on an element. Browser support for that's not so great at the moment, but it's fine. So what you get there is probably what you may or may not imagine, which is just a full-size image, and then I scroll and all that content just goes behind it. So what I do to get over that is z-index -1 to that, and then that should come on top there, because it's a sticky element inherits a z-index. And then all we need to really now do is deal with this container, which I've given a container, background, we'll give it whoa. And so we need to also pull that up. We need to pull the container up over the top. So if we use transform, it will just leave a bunch of space at the bottom, but if we use a negative margin at the top, it'll bring that up with it. So if we go margin top equals -75 VH, which is 3/4 of whatever the viewport size is, then we start getting something a bit closer to what we saw before. So sticky, which was holding the image, position sticky given in the top, made it 100% of the viewport height, and given it a z-index of the 1 to push it behind the content. Chucked in a background cover image on there, and then pulled the container up a little bit, which brings us to this. And so if we go back to the HTML, so that's the, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. So, wow, this is huge. So if I just, copy that article a number of times, and if you give it where am I? This is weird. So you can give it a border, 10 pixels. So that's basically it. And then if you just duplicate that article element, then that happens, and it comes. So it's native scrolling. There's no JavaScript getting in the way. You're not even doing 100% hide on the HTML or body element, which messes up other things. I've had a good time with that, and works really well on mobile. Like iOS Safari already supports it. It feels really smooth. So if I've just pushed it into Chrome, which has got the polyfill on it because of its Chrome. But yeah, if you're on a mobile device, it feels really good. There's no media queries or anything changing anything. It's just exactly the same. So if you're on your phone, it feels smooth as butter. So yeah, that's what I came up with. And yeah, any questions?